So I co-hosted a webinar the other day that had 200 people register, 80 people attend live. But of those 80 people who came live, 33 of them booked a sales call or a conversation with my co-host team. And in this video, I want to break down why that was so successful and how you can replicate that if you're selling coaching, consulting, or services, and you want to host a webinar, a workshop, any of those kind of things, and you want to book calls with yourself or your team, okay? So the first thing that went well was what I call contrast content, okay? So contrast content is in marketing often framed as like the old way, new way, or in this case, the model, anti-model. And in this particular webinar, my co-host was selling people on creating a higher ticket offering for their businesses. And so the model, anti-model that we used was like the anti-model was lower ticket. And we talked about why that's a struggle, why that's harder, why you need more volume, more leads in order to hit your goals. And then we contrast that with the higher end model where you need less leads and less traffic to hit your income goals. And in other words, one client could be worth 100 clients when you're selling high ticket. And we used a variety of different metaphors and stories to really point at that big idea. All good presentations are built on a good idea, or a big idea rather. And that contrast content is a great way to frame that big idea for people. And so that was the first thing that happened during the presentation that was really effective, bringing their worldview towards the big idea of this webinar, which was that higher priced services and programs are better and easier to hit your income goals without all the marketing complexities than lower priced products. Okay. And again, lots of metaphors, examples that pointed to that big idea early on. Now, the second thing that we did that went well, what I'll call keys to success. So behind that framing, that model, anti-model, contrast content, my co-host Brian, shout out to Brian Harris, used what are called 4 keys to success. And those 4 keys to success were designed to remove objections and help shift people's thinking, again, towards that opportunity, which was to create a high ticket offer. So the keys to success, we frame them around the objections. So people might be thinking, well, people don't buy higher priced things in my industry. So we made sure to address that in one of the keys to success. Who's going to buy my offer? I don't know a lot of people. That was addressed as one of the keys to success as well. And so if you start your presentation like we did with a opening of a big idea, contrasting different paths, and then removing the obstacles in the form of keys to success, that is a really solid structure. In fact, this structure I feel is the best structure that I know of for booking calls. It's been the highest amount of calls booked from the webinars that I've hosted myself and also with partners. Okay. Now, the third thing that caused this to work so well was the call to action. The call to action was different. A lot of folks aren't sure, like they'll just say at the end of their presentation, just book a call. Just, book a call with me. If you like what you hear today, book a call, that kind of thing. And it does okay, but it's not the same as positioning it like Brian did and like we did in this webinar, which was to position it as a next step action plan, right? So it was just a very logical 1-slide call to action. Hey, if you want to continue your journey here today, what I urge you to do is to make a decision and utilize this action plan. And we said it a little differently than that, but at the top of the action plan was a one-on-one call with his team to help apply this, what was just shared on the webinar, to them and to their business, okay? And there were two additional bonuses, 2 additional value adds that went below that call as well. So the action plan was like, hey, first step, book your call so we can really talk to you, dial this in to your situation. And when you come to that call, you're also going to get this and you're also going to get that. And there were 2 enticing items below the call that made that call a true action plan, right? Like you'd be foolish not to take it up if you have any interest in what was being shared on the webinar. And so that those are three strategies, three reasons why with 80 attendees, 33 calls were booked. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you as a little bit of a case study. If you do any kind of webinars, workshops, challenges, if you're a coach, consultant, service professional, that's who I'm hoping to reach here on YouTube, that take some of these tips to heart. Look, I've been selling my expertise online for over 12 years. I've worked with hundreds of people on their webinars, both selling things directly and booking calls and leads for their businesses. I feel that this structure that I just shared with you is the best that I've seen so far, and I wanted to pass that along to you. So that's it for this video. Feel free to like the video. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions on this stuff. Again, I'm in the trenches, just kind of passing this along to you. If you need any help on your presentations, webinars, feel free to comment below, reach out. I have a number of training tools and consulting programs on that, as well as other tools that are coming down the pipe soon. So anyway, that's for this video. Feel free to like this video. It helps more people see this information. Comment. I look forward to making another video for you soon. Take care for now.